I figured I'll drive over and go take a walk in the park. Waiting for daughter to get off work. She wants to work a little extra hours because she's not working that many of next week. Not working too many days, so she's going to take advantage of them saying, yes, you can work a little extra this week. It's one thing. Bills do not stop coming in just because work stops. Bills will always be there. You never know when work will stop. I have seen so many people when I was young, in my 20s, people get their first job, work for a year, then they go out and get a loan, get a nice fancy car, ride around with their buddies and stuff. Just putting more responsibility on themselves of finance, and really hadn't got into the workforce, not knowing if that job is going to be reliable or not. And they say, hey, when you going to get you a car? Get rid of that old clunker. Well, the clunker gets me the job so I can work just as good as yours does. I mean, I don't need to look fancy in a car. I just need to get to work. So why should I spend extra money on something that's not going to benefit me in my life? If I want to look fancy to others, yeah, it will work. But where is that going to get me? Absolutely nowhere, except more in debt. That's why I never go crazy on my finances of buying things that I really don't need. I mean, yeah, I like to have big house. I mean, I've had my houses when I was younger, 20, 30 years old, but nothing lavish and very, very big luxury house and stuff like that. I mean, it's a 2-story house and 3 or 4 bedrooms and stuff. But after I bought 2 or 3, I mean, I fixed them up and sold them. But that was basically my intention when I bought it in the first place, not to live in. I was doing things to make a quick buck. But while I was in them homes, fixing them up and all, it took a lot of my time. And I really realized at that time that I didn't want one for myself. The maintenance and everything else. It's the Frisbee, I guess they call it Frisbee golf. I think there's actually 18 holes here. But I realized real fast that I did not want a home to live in of that magnitude because of the maintenance and stuff like that. I didn't mind fixing up, knowing after I fix it up, I'll be selling it to someone that can take over, basically. I didn't want anything. I didn't want all that maintenance and stuff. Even the RV I got, that is the closest I want to get to any kind of maintenance. And really the main reason why I don't mind of that kind of maintenance is because it's something as a hobby, something that I can call my own, but it's something to keep me busy. Even though I have all the wisp, the internet, and over 200 clients, it don't keep me busy. Because here I am. I went and done an install. It took an hour this morning from 9 o'clock, and I think I was done by, looked at my watch, my phone, and it said something like 6 after 10. So an hour. Well, I got the rest of the day. And I only do 2 installs max per day, so I can get other things done. I do one in the morning at 9, do one in the evening at 5, and do my stuff. Spend time with the grandkids, like take them to school for the first day. You get them registered. Things that I enjoy doing. But I have never went out when I was young and bought all this lavish stuff. I just didn't see any point in it. It was not going to benefit me any, so why do it? But I see so many people back when I was in younger years, in 20s and 30s, and I still see it happening today. People buy all this luxury stuff. They get married, and it's just 2 of them, and they buy a house that's big enough to accommodate 6 to 10 people to sleep in. Why? Because they can? Well, that's not a good enough reason. And then they had this mortgage and stretching every dollar just so they could say they got a 2-story, 4-bedroom house. Only thing that gets them is to have to work more to pay for it all. What fun is that? Why force yourself live to work? I like it that you work so you can live. I don't like have to have a life that all I do is work. And that's all I have time for. It's not a life to have. And retirement, they say, starts 62, 67. I have to disagree. That's not when retirement starts. That's when you retire. The time that retire starts is when you're in the 20s, when you get in the workforce. Make a plan so you can retire. Every day you plan to retire. I don't think too many people are going to be playing on this course. I played golf and you have sand traps. Well, here you got water traps. And I guarantee these mosquitoes would be terrible out here eventually. I'm not going to stay out here long enough to know. But I guarantee there would be some mosquitoes out here. That's what I did when I was in my 20s. I started a plan for my future to retire early. I didn't know that it was going to be as early as as it happened at 45. But I just kept rising and grinding. It's like my podcast, Rise and Grind. And that's what I live by. Rise up in the morning, even though I'm retired, I still get up between 5 and 5:30 in the morning. It's something I've always done. And I still get things done. It may not be, work because I'm retired, but other things, time with grandkids. I stay on a pattern of getting up and going to bed, but what I do during the day is just changed. It's like the internet. It takes like an hour to install one, but sometimes I'll hang around for another hour just chatting with the people that I got internet for. I enjoy the conversation of, stories and stuff, because no telling where they have traveled, where they've been, what they've seen, what they've heard. I like to sit back and listen to them stories, because you never know what next story you're going to hear. Places that they have been that I may be interested in traveling to, which looking to do a vacation trip probably within the next month or two. It might be next week. Installs are kind of slowing up. Not too many people calling for it. I got only maybe less than a dozen on the list, and I've sent information to them. They have not responded back. They may be waiting until next summer or later on this year. They may actually live, like, say, up there in New York and stuff, up north somewhere, and they come down here for the wintertime, and they stay in the RV at wintertime. I don't know. But since it's slowing up, I'm going to go on a trip or 2 or 3, maybe 4. And no telling where I'll end up, when I'll go, how long I'll stay. I love traveling. I love driving. And that's a very comfortable car to drive right there. It's been from one side of the United States and back to the other. I mean, you have to get out and smell the roses, and enjoy time. Just like this park here. It closes at 10. Even if you got a 9-to-5 job, you still be able to go out and take a walk. Perhaps there's ducks and geese or whatever walking around. Just enjoy nature, man. It's just, or get your family together after a hard, long day of work. Come to the park. Instead of eating at the kitchen table, why not bring the food and come to a park and sit at the picnic and enjoy? Kids can go play tennis, throw the frisbee whenever the land's not soaking wet, play basketball, just spend time outside. There's so many parks, at least around here, there's a lot of parks, a lot of opportunities of enjoying. Even got a small little park over there for the little kids, swings, slides. I mean, you know, a lot of people, I mean, I'm looking here in the trash can, I see Jersey Mike's, Burger King, McDonald's. I don't know where they came from Burger King because there's no Burger King here in Sneeze Ferry. So that some old trash out of the car, or they drove all this way just to eat out here. But people come out here and cook out. Life is too short to just live to work. There's no fun in that. None at all. It's a system that's been built to make you feel like you need to do certain things or you will be a failure in life. People will pressure you in when you get out of high school. Oh, what college you going to? What you going to study? I'm just going to go get a job or open up my own company and study how to retire early. Like I said in quite a few of my videos, 70% of people that go to college and get a degree does not end up in the field that they got their degree in. So I'm going to be one of them 70%, but I just don't go to college. I went to trade school to learn about heat and air and stuff. But a full blown out going to college, having 30, 40, 50, $100,000 debt and not even go into that field that I studied in. I took business courses and stuff like that, booking, you know, how to keep books. And instead of going to college, I learned more of little jobs that I got. Like working at Bojangles. I learned how to make a schedule, you know, for the workers. I learned how to do the books. Even before there was any apps, gig apps of delivery, I was working at Domino's and delivering. Didn't have to have an app, but I figured out tactics that I can use to make me get to my destination a lot easier. Little techniques that I figured out to make it easier to deliver. Just the little things, like when they order a pizza, usually you get a pizza and that's all you got. It's a pizza in a box. I bring napkins, sporks, plastic knives, just little accessory things extra. We have some sauce that we didn't charge for to have, even though they didn't ask for it, I put it in there. Sometimes I grab cups. I'll get paper cups. I'll go to the store, like Walmart, and buy plastic cups and hand them out. And it helped out a lot because some of them, they said, oh, we didn't order cups. I said, oh no, this just throw in because it's the summer And I saw that you having a lot of kids over. I figured this might be, beneficial if you don't have to wash glasses or whatever, or if you got, just if you want them, you can have them. Just little things. The same thing when you do gig work now. They may not ask for sauce, didn't think about it, whatever. And if it's meat at door, I'll have another little bag. I say, hey, do you want any, other Taco Bell sauces? I got a little bit of each if you want any. I said, I know you didn't put in the app, but do you want any? And they'll stick their hand in there just like it was Halloween, going door to door, like kids grabbing, putting their hand in the bag or jack-o'-lantern and grabbing a whole handful of candy. When they looked in there and grabbed a handful and got what they wanted and said thank you. Just the little things that I learned by doing odds and ends of different kind of little jobs, pretty much on job training. I didn't need a full-blown college degree to tell me how to make life easy and how to navigate through life financially. I've had, I did have a lot of people say, oh, if you're going to go open up your own business, you need this, you need that, you got to get this and learn this. No, you don't. You don't need all that just to open. You need to, have a business name. You got to have it registered. You got to open a checking account. You got to have some way to process credit cards, business license, whichever one it may require. You don't need all this college degree. I mean, I have a friend that was in the volunteer fire department, or not volunteer. He was in volunteer fire department one time before the city took over and turned it into, a regular fire department. But when he was in the regular fire department, they said you need to get some kind of college degree, at least 2 years. Why? He was getting ready to retire out of the fire department because that's how long he's been in it. And he didn't even have to get a degree of anything that has anything to do with the fire department. Just had to have a 2-year degree. Now that's BS if nothing else is. He said, oh, if you get a degree, you'll get a raise. Well, he was going to retire in like a little less than 3 years. So he wouldn't get a raise until he got the degree in 2 years. So for that last year, he'll get a raise. Well, he did the math. The amount of extra money he would make in that last year, or less than a year, was not worth spending the money to go get a degree for, after 2 years, because it would cost him more to get the degree than what he would get back before he retires. So he said no. Care less about the raise, because he won't get the raise until he gets the degree, and that was 2 years. And it was like a little bit, 2 years and 9 or 10 months is when he was going to retire. So he was not going to get all that money back that it cost him to get the degree. So why do it? Now, it'd be different if they said, well, we'll give you a raise if you go get you a degree. Then that'd be 2.5 or 2 years and 10 months of extra pay. Then it would make sense. He would have made a little extra because it would cover his expense of his degree, college, payments. But why go get one and not go get a raise until after 2 years, and you only got 10 months left before you retire? Well, that degree ain't going to do you a bit of good after you retire. And since it didn't have to be on anything to do with the fire department, it wasn't going to do anything when you're in the fire department either. This world has just got a system, and they try to keep you on that track, make you feel like you got to work to pay your bills, and the normal is Go to college, get a degree, get a house, get married, have kids, pay off your 30-year mortgage, and then retire, and hopefully you got enough money. And not only have enough money, hopefully you live long enough to enjoy life for once instead of have to work your fingers to the bone, they say. I thought about that when I was in my 20s. I'm like, I don't want that. So I figured I would flip the script, work my butt to death, sun up, sun down for 25, 30 years, retire early, and have a longer retirement than the years that I actually worked. Instead of working 30, 40 years and have maybe 10 or 15 years to enjoy it, I'd rather work fewer years and have more free time at the end. Because you never know when your life is going to be ended. You don't know, oh, I'm in great health. The doctor says I'm in great health. I got many years. Well, tell that to the butthead that ran a red light and ran into you, and T-boned you. He didn't listen to the doctor. Your life can be over before you know it at any given time. That's why I do not drive when it's pouring down rain. I have no reason to. Now, if I'm out driving and it's pouring down rain, I'm going somewhere, I'm going to keep driving and get there. I'm just going to be very cautious. When it's pouring down rain, if I can see the taillights of a car, I'll stay back far enough just to be able to see them through the rain. And when I'm driving when it's not raining, if I can read the license plate, which I got great vision, my glasses, I really don't need them when I'm driving, just reading. But if I can read the license plate, I'm backing off even more. I'm too close. That's my distance. And I found that the 3 settings on my RAV4 has the same attitude, because I set on the furthest distance and I cannot read the license plate. And that's where I set mine at. People come up behind me and the speed limit's 55, I'm doing 63. And they come up behind me and I cannot look in my rear view mirror and look underneath their car. They're too close. And if you sit there long enough, I'll drop it down to 60. If you sit there longer, I'll drop it down to 55. If you sit there even longer, I'll sit there and drive 5 under the speed limit. Hopefully they'll get pissed and they'll go around. They can give me the finger, they can honk their horn, whatever they want to do, that's fine. Then I'll go back up to 63 and to the next idiot that wants to tailgate. I'm in no rush. Life is too short. You got to stop and smell the roses. And life is what you make it. If you're struggling and working your backside off, day in and day out, 1 job, 2 jobs, doing gig work, and you still not able to pay your bills, you can only blame yourself for taking on the debt. Or, well, yeah, taking on the debt and neglecting of paying it when you're supposed to pay it. You can't just get credit cards and max them out and never pay on them and expect that they'll never come back and bite you. They will. They will come and get you. There's so many people out there that way. They'll get themselves in debt and then they think, well, I don't have to worry about that anymore. It'll just get off my credit report. It might get off your credit report, but that don't mean they're going to stop coming after you. Some of them companies will just keep haunting you years, a decade or more. They want their money. They have the right to have it. They loaned you the money or gave you the credit card on good faith. I have seen companies take people to court and garnish their wages just to get a credit card paid or a car loan. They just come pick your car up and they'll sell your car. And if there's any balance, You're still on the hook for that. Why screw up your life by messing your credit score up? If you don't need something, don't buy it. Don't buy it just because you want it. Too many people get in debt. And then they get 30, 40 some years old. Wonder why they don't have any savings. Well, I got a 401k. And they're 40 some years old and it's got less than $5,000 in it. Because they're not contributing to it like they should. They're spending it on all other kind of things, or they neglect things. And then it comes back and bites them. And they have to double down to catch up. Only catch up I want is on my French fries. I don't want to have any catch up in my life. I just want it on my French fries, maybe a hamburger. Now I'm getting hungry. Now I want to go get me a mushroom Swiss burger with some French fries. I think I'm going to text my daughter and see when she's going to get off work. I just may go get it. Or I may go back to, what was it, Texas Roadhouse up in Jacksonville. I just may slide up there and go get a good steak again. I got up there and I had to circle the parking lot twice to find a parking spot. But now when I got in there, there was people elbow to elbow. When I went up there and I said, I'm here, for dinner and all. And they said, it'll be about 30 minutes. And I'm like, 30 minutes and all these people are here? How's that possible? But it was 25 minutes and I had me a seat. 30 minutes later, I was eating. They were moving. I mean, it looked like one big anthill in there. Them workers were going right, left, up, down, sideways. I mean, every kind of way to get things done. I saw people that was, usually you have bus people, waitresses and stuff like that, but I seen some of the waitresses come out and clean a table. And then when the bus boys would come out there with a little tray, sit it in the seat, and they both put all the glasses and silverware and everything, plates and all right in there, and he took off with it. But even the waitresses were just killing it. And they were busy, but not so busy they didn't give good service. I never ran out of tea. I saw a waitress come by. She said, everybody got everything you need? Anything you need? I said, no, I'm good. And then there was another lady walk by, which was the waitress, and she says, oh, you need more tea? And I'm thinking, she's not my waitress. But she came back and she had tea. And then my waitress came by. She said, you okay? I said, yeah, some other waitress came by and gave me tea. She said, okay. We all try to work together. I'm like, yeah, that's teamwork. We help each other. We see somebody needs something, we just ask them. Don't matter whose table it is. Man, that's service. But you can't get that in life like you used to. It's very slim to none that you ever see that. And that just makes me want to go back to that restaurant because the quality of service and the food is worth going back for. Life is too short. Don't let it pass you by. It's just like, I'm going to be 60 next year, but I still remember going to playgrounds like that right over there, being a kid. Not my grandkids. I remember when I used to go to the park. I used to ride my bicycle to the park to play baseball, softball, basketball. Seems like it was just a few years ago. And it's been 40 some years ago. And that's why I retired early. So I can be there and enjoy my grandkids doing the same thing. Be there for them. Watch them grow up. And hopefully they have a better world to live in than what we had and what we're went through for the last few years. All the chaos, and also what we're still going through. People, what they feel that they want to believe in and their narrative and try to push it on others. It's crazy. But that's the world that we have come to live in now. People not willing to do what they need to do to have a good life, to have a good relationship. It used to be you get married and your vows were through sickness and health, the good times and the bad times, for good or for bad. That's just almost unheard of now. It's like, we get married, what if I get married to you, what do I benefit? What can I get out of you? What do I get out of this business transaction? That's basically all it is now, a business transaction. It's not true marriage, because I've seen so many that the first hiccup one has, say the man's supposed to provide for the family and the woman be home and provide a home for the rest of the family. The guy makes the money to have the house. The woman keeps the house in, tip-top shape for the family. It's 50-50. One gets the house, one takes care of the house. The one that, goes out and makes the money pays for everything. But as soon as, say, the husband loses his job, he can't keep a job because it's just bad luck of, finding something in their field that they want to work in, which when it comes to that, they should find a location where they can have a better job in that particular field if they really want it. Move. But just because they can't find a job, it's not a reason to leave. It's supposed to be through sickness and health and good and bad. You're supposed to work together to make a marriage work. It's going to be some rough times. It's not always going to be easy. But life is what you make it. And I've seen so many divorces and after that, then neither one of them can find anybody to be with, because all the ones that they're looking for, the people they're looking for is still in relationship or whatever and build a life. It's pretty much the leftovers. That's where we get old maids. They have to move in with good old mom and dad back where they started. In debt, divorced, with kids, and no idea where they're going to be this time next year. Have no clue. That's when they start looking for people to be with, for a bailout. And hoping, but they still keep their requirement standards high. Well, you can't do that. Life is, like I say, life is what you make it. And if you mess it up, well, you're not going to have a good life. So it's up to each and every one of us individually decide what our life is going to be. And we don't have that much time. And if you're 20 or 30 and you watching this video and made it this far, you say, oh, I got another 30, 40 years. I've been 60, 70 years old. Well, you don't know that. There's car accidents every, 7, 10 minutes? Last time I checked on it, and that was years ago. I don't know what it is now. And not everybody makes it. And they may be 20-some years old. They thought they had another 50, 60 years ahead of them. But I want to thank each and every one of you that has come by and watched this video. And if you made it this far, thank you. Please share, comment. Thank you for watching. And if you hadn't already, hit that subscribe button so you'll be notified on the next video. There's no telling where I'll be. I may be out here in the park like I am now, just enjoying a nice Dr. Pepper and walk around. Or I might be on the beach or driving down the road and going on vacation. There's no telling. Life is too short. Look in the description and check out all the links. Check out my book. It's a nice short little read. I think it's like 150 pages. It's short and sweet, but to the point. Life can change at any moment. And that book proves it. Everything was going great. And then that big hiccup stopped my life for 500 and some days. But I was determined not to let it stop my life permanently. So I took the bad and figured out a way to turn it into something glorious and positive. I got out and I thought for the next whole year, what should I do? Should I go back full blast on heating and air? Because after I got out, I still had people calling me. But I decided to just do a little here, a little there, until I decided what I was going to do. And I decided to call it quits. I've had enough. I didn't need to continue to work. I said, well, I'm just going to turn the tables and get set for even more financially for all the BS they put me through, and write a book and let others know that life can be jeopardized with no wrongdoing of your own. It sucks, but that's life. You can't prevent all of it, but you can always turn it around and make it into something positive for yourself. So whenever things are getting down and not going your way, just sit back, think about it, and figure out a way to turn it into something positive and move on to the next day. It may take a while. Just don't let it stop you. Life is too short to stop. I'll see you in the next video.